Thank you. Welcome also from my side. My name is Andrea Roesinger. I'm working at Forcam for product engineering and service and support. Forcam was founded by ex-SAP colleagues. Forcam means for communication with machines. My personal background is also software engineering, SAP, so I talk more about coming from the IT side, from the software side, and less from the engineering side. The challenge of Industry 4.0 is to combine more or less engineering and software building. So restart in production after pandemic. What about data-driven manufacturing? What about Industry 4.0? The founder of the Blue Belts, Thomas Edison, said once, "A vision without execution is hallucination." When you read the last FAZ articles, the founders of Industry 4.0, Professor Walster, Professor Henning Kagermann, they talked about we are discussing Industry 4.0 for 10 years now. And now the question is, especially after these times, pandemic times, how do we continue? So in the going forward, I will talk about the vision and the challenges, threefold execution plan, restarting production, transformation, and how important connectivity is to execute data-driven manufacturing. The overall vision is manufacturing IT transformation. It's not only about technology. Now, when you look in the reality today in the shop floor, there are still data silos. There are many heterogeneous systems. There are weak skills of the workforce, and we lead a long cycle time of renewal. Adding value in manufacturing transformation means we secure competitiveness of the companies on a global scale. We are building resilient production and global supply chains. We learned in the past 12, 14 months that the global supply chains were disrupted. Industry 4.0 means with all the data, there is the need to empower the workforce. And then on the long run, with improving iterative agile, you will improve the financial figures. So what can be an execution plan? The execution plan, in a short overview, we are navigating today in the now. We analyze the shop floor. But how do we plan the comeback and how we want to shape the new normal? It's not only about Industry 4.0, it's also about Work 4.0, Leadership 4.0, and so on. When we look at VW Group, for example, they are cooperating with RWS to shape their digital production platform. BMW is working with Microsoft to shape the digital platform. Shaping the new normal will mean we find our manufacturing architecture in cloud edge computing. More or less, I repeat what presenters said to me. We all want return on invest-based pilot projects. We want to reduce costs, fast return, and we need to start small. It's not easy, the topic. It's a complex topic, so we need design thinking projects, first prototyping, and involve the people, train the continuous improvement process, and work on an integrative open technology platform. From our overall manufacturing IT architecture, we see it this way. There is an open technology platform, multi-cloud, can be connected with every hyperscaler. And on top of this is the multidimensional product data model. And on top of this, we are open application programming interface. We believe on a vital ecosystem with partners and so on. Now, key for a smooth transition is the multidimensional data model for production. And this means we have here 4 layers. First of all, the signals coming from the machines. The signals are getting harmonized, transformed in a machine data model, in a material data model, in a workstation model. And from here, you transform in a production data tier model, which is integrated with the controlling financial data model, with the ERP, and the integration business object is here the production order. When we dig here a little bit more in detail, so the data are coming from the edge, like my presenters before showed. They come from the edge sensors, personal orders. These data need to be collected. This is the origin of everything, of Industry 4.0. The origins are the data. So data need to be harmonized. If not, you cannot communicate with them. So once harmonized, they will be stored in an IIoT platform. We call it the bridge. And this bridge is now opened up to applications from to any ERP connections to any ERP system. You can have your own customer applications. We can develop industry applications. There are MESA applications from partners like CAQ, TDM. We have our own MESA applications. So this is more or less the overall manufacturing IT architecture. And customers need to decide, or the whole ecosystem needs to decide where to evolve. Now coming back again to how we want to restart everything is then more or less when you plan the comeback, you need to decide. I always say building software is like building cities. Everybody, every customer, the ecosystem can decide where we want to go together. So overall, to get a manufacturing ecosystem, we need an open IT architecture with the hyperscalers. And we have to think about at the end where as a company we want to go to digitalize, to go away from analog is working, and to integrate with each other much more easier. For this, we need self-controlled sites. For this, we need that the entire companies, the plants, more or less have a similar manufacturing data model and can be benchmarked with each other. So more or less everybody needs here a global strategy and think about how to communicate with each other, that there are maybe, I don't know, globally standardized 5 or 10 digital twins, but not 1,000 digital twins. Now when I started data-driven manufacturing, for data-driven manufacturing, meaning the vertical integration, connectivity is key here, is the origin. So connectivity means when you look at all the customer, about 60% of all the machines are more or less brownfield machines, not new machines. So the standards are not working here. So key for the brownfield machines is to have the plugins for every machine types, to interface for any protocol, and to be here cloud ready. This is one key topic here, and we deliver here more or less a product. We call it Forcam Force Edge. We deliver an on-premise, and we also deliver it on the SAP cloud platform. Then the next thing is making out of these data smart data. And when you look at the different communities, like we are active in the Open Industry 4.0 Alliance, where are a lot of small and mid-sized companies also, the key focus topic here is cloud edge computing. Where will be the data? In the edge or in the cloud? The cloud will more or less administer the edge, but more or less the process data and everything will be, I would assume, also out of security reasons, many customers will have this data in the edge, but for analytical reasons then the data will get pushed in the cloud, and this also means you can do global analytics, global performance between all the plants. So from signal to value, we capture the signals in the edge, we transform, harmonize them, and we give then from the edge the overall analytical values into the cloud. Smart data. Now for global scalability, the topic is to have a machine template in a repository for every machine. And with this machine template, you can configure the machine, so you push it down. The goal is now to have for all machines these templates in a machine repository. The presenter before communicated the asset administration shell. The asset administration shell is key here. The asset administration shell has submodels. So we believe the machine template connectivity is a submodel of the asset administration shell. So we are working on this, and we hope that we can communicate or publicate this machine template connectivity model then within a asset administration shell, which will find its way more or less within the community between my former presenter, between Gaia X or between Open Industry 4.0. This is getting somewhere overall discussed. So I still have to understand where at the end is the leading asset administration shell. So for us, we are working on 3 pain points. I mean, historically, the overall equipment effectiveness, detecting anomalies. Also here, artificial intelligence will be getting very important to do machine learning, to do prediction, predictive execution, predictive operation. Like I already said, interoperability and integration is key. There is not one product, there are many products, so every customer can think, what is good for me, what products do I want, and then different products have to compose each other easily. And at the end of the day, or now after pandemic, also for energy efficiency and energy flexibility, sustainability is key, because the energy original data are coming out of the edge, the energy consumption, the water consumption, temperature, and we have to learn to work with this data and drive CO2 out of this and more or less monitor via sustainability data the overall process. This can be the next challenge for everybody. I think in about 2 years, companies have to report on sustainability data. So, like I said, in industry data-driven manufacturing is also a cultural topic, is becoming an attractive place to work. Digitalization will mean there is less hierarchy, more or less a lot of things are automated, but data have to be monitored, data have to be interpreted. So there is the need of data science in the plant. Then there is also the need to become an attractive employee here. The other topic is building resilient operations. This means globally the supply chain being resilient, detect disruptions before, apply lean and continuous improvement processes across distributed global production facilities. And the third dimension, or the first dimension, is turning the machine park in a valuable asset. But this is then not only the asset, this is the asset with the data. Data is the foundation for servicization of the overall economy. And also, like I said, including here the origins of the sustainability data we need to meet the European 2030 sustainability agenda. So in summary, on a high level, I wanted to point out for this overall architecture, machine connectivity is key. Everything is coming from here. The digital twin is a mapping of the data, how many digital twins there are. Then all the standards are also key here. And we will add value then from the factory to finance. And overall, we need this integrative IT architecture on top of the hyperscalers, also especially I think in Europe here, that we can all together more or less create a manufacturing ecosystem on a global scale. So thank you very much.